Taiwan's main stock index, the Taiex, gained nearly 30% in 2024, outperforming all other major Asian markets. The major growth is credited largely to investment in technologies used in artificial intelligence, especially semiconductors. 90% of the world's most advanced chips are made in Taiwan. South Korea's index saw the worst performance in the region, losing about 8%. For more on Taiwan's market performance this year, reporter Chris Gorin spoke with senior economist at the consultancy Natixis, Gorin.
Taiwan's main stock index, the Taiex, gained more than 28% this year, outperforming all other markets in Asia. What do you chalk these major gains up to?
Well, indeed, when you look at the performance of the Taiwanese equities market, it is not only performing the best in the local currency in Asia, and even in USD terms, because other currencies have depreciated so much with the USD, that Taiwan dollar is also one of the most resilient ones. So I think the most important point is really about this very strong artificial intelligence boom that we actually see globally, not only in the US, but when you look at the supply chain, Taiwan is definitely one of the market that is like the closest to all of these opportunities. So all of this has basically filled the prospect domestically that people are earning more money than before. So they are actually investing more on the local stock market as well. So I think all of these factors basically bring to the fact that, the momentum has actually been quite strong in Taiwan.
Has this growth mostly been concentrated in a few companies, or has it been more evenly distributed across the economy?
I think it's a very common phenomenon, especially after COVID, that we do see across all the market that most of this gain are actually quite concentrated in some specific companies. And for the case of Taiwan, which is actually quite linked to the US as well, it's really about this very highly concentrated gain in the tech sector. And of course, some may argue that, it's true that there may be this Dutch disease, which basically means that one part of the economy is growing much faster than the others. But still, at least we managed to see some strong sectors in Taiwan, which is the tech sector.
Obviously, there's a lot of factors that could impact the economy in the coming year, not the least of which being the incoming Trump administration in the United States and its potential tariffs. What's your outlook for Asia in 2025?
Indeed, if you look at all these policy uncertainties, and I do believe that the Trump administration and the what he decided to do, right, will be one of the biggest sources of volatility that we will see next year. But again, it doesn't necessarily mean everything is bad for Asia. The positive sign remains that I do not think the US can produce everything by itself. So even though there may be tariffs or etc., I mean, all the multinational companies in Asia, especially in the manufacturing sector, I'm sure they will find a way to actually mitigate such risks, because either they need to bypass the tariff by investing in the US, etc. But for Taiwan, I don't think these factors will change the fundamental trend that the world need more AI computing power, which basically means that chips will still be one of the most important commodities in the world. That will mean more corporate revenue for these companies.